Have you guys seen about this? I think I've talked about this before. One more thing before Broken Arrow. Have you guys seen this? Do you guys know what Stop Killing Games is? Do you guys know what Stop Killing Games is? You should. It's fucking huge news lately. All the big YouTubers have made a video about it. Do you guys know what it is? Go for this. What do you think? What do you think so far? Have you signed the petition? Be honest. For those who don't know, Stop Killing Games is an initiative where a cursed farm, aka Russ, is trying to make a movement, try to start a change in the world. Because there's a big problem with gaming. There is a massive problem with gaming. And that is developers and publishers intentionally killing their game after a set time to try and drive up profits. For example, The Crew. The Crew is a single-player game, single-player car driving game where you drive across the US. You visit Washington, New York, Texas, Austin, whatever. You like New Vegas, whatever. You experience all of America in a single-player setting, just playing the game for fun. For some ungodly, disgusting reason, the developers decided that The Crew should be an always online game. Does anyone know what always online means? Always online means the game is only working and it's only playable if you're connected to the servers. You have to connect to the developers' servers to play the game. Right? So in the Cruise example, every time you wanted to play, even though it was a single-player game, only with you playing, every time you wanted to play, you had to connect to their servers to like authenticate and accept and whatever. The problem is, the developers no longer want to operate those servers. So you can no longer connect to those servers. So even though you bought this game, you want to play it single player, you can no longer play it. The game is dead. They effectively took your money and gave you the middle finger. They said, here, you can buy this game for $60. But at some arbitrary point in time, we're gonna turn it off and you will lose access. And Stop Killing Games wants to stop that, pretty much. They want to stop that. Someone I've been following for many years, Cursed Farms. He makes amazing videos. He's a very good dude. Very wholesome, amazing, nice guy. He hosts, we watched his stream on our stream. He's a very good guy. Very good guy. He decided about a year ago, maybe a little bit more, he decided that, you know what, this is stupid. The game's being arbitrarily killed off because the developers don't want to maintain them anymore is stupid. It's anti-consumer, it's anti-gamer, it's anti-everyone. It's anti-everyone except the shareholders. And he started a movement. He started a petition. He contacted politicians in different nations. And he needed to get 1 million signatures. This is about a year ago. He started. About a year ago, he started 1 million signatures. Then you need 1 million signatures for a what's it called? Like a investigation by the EU. Like the EU will look at it and they'll decide if they were gonna do something about it. The EU initiative, as he calls it. About, I think 6 months ago? How long ago was it? One of a pretty big streamer called Pirate Software decided to just absolutely shit on and attack this initiative for no real reason. Pirate Software, for those who don't know, he's pretty much the worst person you will ever interact with.
Have to sunset live service games.
Yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can find a good example Pirate Software pretty much is the worst person you will ever meet. Like, actually. He is super narcissistic. He is beyond know-it-all. He's a beyond know-it-all. He is, I would say, morally a bad person. He lies. He lies for gain. He spreads misinformation, all while taking money. And please watch a couple minutes there just to see. This is the Ross. This is Ross. This is the good guy. This is the man. This is the man that's basically trying to save gaming.
Okay, I really don't want to do this next part, but it's become a liability for the campaign for me not to. Our biggest critic by far is YouTuber and streamer Pirate Software, who goes by Thor. If you're
Okay, one thing I want to say about Thor. If you don't know who Thor is, he actually rose to fame lying on YouTube Shorts. Very, very interesting. I have some friends, some developer friends, like actually, before I started streaming, I have some developer friends, and they actually, they know someone who actually works at Blizzard. They know someone who knows someone that actually works at Blizzard. When Pirate Software rose to fame, it was when he was making YouTube Shorts and YouTube videos about how he was detecting and banning hackers. The thing is, he never worked in that department. That entire story, the entire thing he grew his fame off of, is just stolen from some other developer. His time at Blizzard was spent being a gameplay tester, like in game testing development. Like, he would play the games and test them. And for about 6 months, he was cybersecurity. He had never had anything to do with gameplay development. He never had anything to do with cheating or hacking or whatever. And as someone mentioned in chat, the only reason he was a game tester was because his dad was actually a developer. His dad actually worked at Blizzard, and he got him the job as like a quality assurance gameplay tester, whatever. Regardless, he is the biggest piece of shit you will ever see on Twitch. He's a liar. He spreads misinformation, and he tries to monetize it pretty much.
only exposure to Stop Killing Games has been this video, then you've been misinformed. This video is by someone who does not understand the campaign, has been trying to stop it, and has been making up what it is about. I am not saying that lightly. I will prove it in a minute. Now you might be thinking, okay, so some YouTuber got something wrong on the internet. So what? See, that was my thinking too. The problem is how incredibly influential this YouTuber has been. Remember that list of coverage on the campaign? Well, best I can tell, Thor's coverage has been bigger than literally anyone else on those lists, except Asmongold.
Yep.
And the only video Asmongold had on this bigger than Thor's was about Thor's video. So for all practical purposes, Thor here has been the #1 voice on the campaign, and he's been lying about what it is. That's a bit loaded though. In this case, I'm using the second definition of lie. I have no evidence it's the first.
Like, the thing is, he made a montage. This montage is fucking damning. This montage that's happening about in a minute.
This video came out right as we were building momentum.
Isn't it? Yeah, yes, he is. He is the guy. There was Only Fangs. Only Fangs. We read it. Only Fangs. Only Fangs had a Warcraft server. Hardcore, which means when you die, you're gone. You're out. When you die, you're gone. This guy caused his entire party to be killed. And if you're saying, yo, I fucked up, guys, my bad. He went on the super offensive. He started attacking everyone in his party. And any viewer, he banned thousands of people from his chat that like called him out. Because he never accepted blame at all. Even a little bit. He was like, not even like, yeah, my bad, guys. Even that, yeah, my bad, guys. Even that, he wouldn't say. He's such a narcissist thing.
And except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clockwork. This put me in kind of a no-win scenario too. Because if I ignored it, then a lot of people were gonna get misinformed about the campaign. But if I did a response video, which is not something I wanted to do anyway, then it might look like drama farming, which could understandably turn off—
Reminder, this guy, he's not a big YouTuber. He's not a big streamer. He, like, before this whole thing, he had maybe 90 viewers on the stream. He has a big subscriber count, but he makes maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos a year total. He's not like a big influencer. He's just someone that likes playing games, especially old games. And he was like dragged into this insane shit flinging competition with some of the biggest assholes.
A lot of people from the campaign, because it's not about that at all. So I quickly made this video trying to clear up all misconceptions and concerns about the initiative with timestamps for everyone's questions, hoping the truth would eventually come out. I can see now that was a mistake. I should have just embraced the drama. To this day, I'm still getting frequent comments and emails about the same falsehoods about the campaign that originated in this video.
Yep.
Well, now I have nothing to lose. If we don't get the signatures, then none of this matters anyway.
Bros,
so if this campaign is failing—
By the way, for if you don't know what's happening right now, this was about 2 weeks ago. This video released 2 weeks ago. We're sitting at about 400,000 signatures after almost a year. We had the campaign was open for a year, 11 months, I think, and we only had about 400,000 signatures. He released this video, and now we're at 1.2 million. I think it's 1.2 million now.
Because of me not talking about this, then I'll at least correct history here on the way down. I'll get this over with and go over what I think are the biggest points of Pirate Software's videos. I'm not going to go over everything because collectively Thor has made hours of video on both me and the movement. I'd be here forever. Believe me, I could address smaller things too, and kind of already have.
I didn't sign it yet.
Alright, let's start.
I signed it when the video. I saw this video. I don't know like a hipster, but I've been subscribed to this guy for many years with notifications on because I watch every single one of his videos. When I got the video about when I got this video exactly, I actually signed it the same like hour. Like maybe 1 hour after the video came out, I signed it like right away when I saw it.
Point number 1. Thor does not understand what Stop Killing Games is. Here it is in his words.
So for those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games...
Awesome. By the way, whenever he opens the fucking... I need this paint. I need Thor's paint, I think. How can I get this on my PC? Sales code? Figure it out.
Initiatives is basically, we don't want single-player games.
No.
To have DRM that...
Yeah, already. Like, always just lying. Already. Not even one... He can't even get one sentence into what it is. And it's already wrong. No, but paint has white. Well, it's white. How do I get it black? Wait. Does it literally just do? No. No. No, surely not. Yeah, okay. Doesn't work. Okay, that's good. There's no way! What? There's actually no way. But I can't drive on this. I can't drive on this. Don't tell me right. Yeah, what do you think this means? It's white. Wait, what? Why is it so black? It's literally selected white. What? Hello? It's selected white. split and white. Oh. Okay. 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 Okay.
The developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. This is what they want to change. They need to be specific that they're talking about single-player
Also, one thing. No, I'll
games
say no.
that do not need a server to support them.
No.
And as much as they want it to be about specifically games where it is a single-player game that has always online functionality, it would impact every live service game that exists. Instead of just targeting single-player, always on.
Okay, so the problem is, do you guys know what a contrarian is? Do you guys know what a contrarian is? A contrarian is someone who goes against popular opinion just because they want to go against the popular opinion. That's what Thor is. Thor is a contrarian. His entire personality is, no, you're wrong, I'm right, and this is why. Regardless of if the opinion is right or wrong or whatever. He just wants to be right. One thing, you will realize with contrarians, they don't actually believe what you're saying. They only believe it because they think they're smarter than masses. Like, I'm smarter than most people. That's why I see that Stop Killing Games is actually bad. I'm smarter than most people. That's why I see why smoke detectors is a bad thing. I'm smarter than most people. That's why I see why the earth is actually flat. And you guys are dumb. The majority of you guys are dumb. You think the earth is round. I'm smart. I'm skeptical. I know the earth is actually flat. It's purely an ego thing.
Online games.
No, that's not what it is. Stop Killing Games includes single-player games, but nothing about it is specific to them. He completely made that up, and I have no idea where he got that impression. This is what I mean. It's harder for gamers to understand this because they come with so many assumptions. It's like that saying about doctors being the worst patients. So let's clear this up. It's the first line on the website.
Where is this? Is this in the beginning? No. There was a montage of... There's a montage that really, like, whoa. Showed me why this guy's a bad guy.
You know, why he thought that.
Transitioning an entire multiplayer server-side game into a single-player video game, which means rebalancing the entire experience around single-player, rebuilding everything in the entire game. How are you going to do that with Final Fantasy XIV? You're just going to make all the raids soloable? Imagine the day that World of Warcraft...
Like, what is it? Like, he's just making up, like, weird scenarios in his head. He's just making up crazy scenarios in his head, which is not what anyone's saying, just to dunk on it. Like, he's making up scenarios where he's right to repeat it to his stream so he looks good. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's making up these obscure, fake, weird scenarios where, like, oh, obviously, of course, you're right. Because you're making up these weird scenarios, which is not anyone's take. Anyone know what that's called? That's called strawmanning. Yo, thank you, Coffee, for the 5 gifted. Only 540. Coffee, my man.
Craft shuts down, and suddenly you have to make it a single-player game for every individual that ever bought the game. That's what they're asking for.
No.
Because they would have to sunset live service games as a single-player experience. The idea that suddenly you need to make every single live service game playable single-player offline? No, dude.
Correct. No. This one is particularly baffling to me because I've heard most counter-arguments before, but until Thor, I've never heard this one. that we want the industry to convert all multiplayer games into single-player ones. I keep saying it.
Yeah, literally. As you say, Sarge, it happens a lot. And it's literally how Thor got his fame. Thor was no one. Thor was no one until he started doing this. He started lying. He started spreading misinformation. He started talking like an authority on stuff he knows nothing about. And then he became popular. And now he's pretty popular. Now he's very famous. That's what I talked about earlier. About Warcraft. He would talk about Warcraft development. World of Warcraft development. He would sit there and talk about World of Warcraft development for hours on end. On this fucking stupid fucking dumb paint thing. It's just spreading both. Now I won't say stealing valor, but like telling others a story as his own. As I said, like the cheater thing, the first really big thing that hit up for him. Thor is built off of YouTube shorts. The first really massive YouTube short he made was about banning botters or cheaters in World of Warcraft. And how he fixed it. He banned all the bots. He banned all the bots on World of Warcraft. But that story, that event was not him. It was someone else. He just stole it and just retold it as his own. But that's who he is. That's who he is.
You never know where gamers are gonna take this.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single-player games.
Oh, he's so close. He's so close to getting it.
It is vague.
This could be taken in no ways. One run through like B4 arc. Peter love it. Yeah, there's so the thing is, I see this argument a lot. I see this argument a lot on Reddit. I was parroting what Pirate Software says. A lot of people think it's necessary, or that something just happens. It just happens. Like, oh, we made our game, and on accident, we made it always online. No, that's not a thing. This is not a natural part of game development to add in a death date, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not a natural part of normal game development to add in, like, oh, by the way, if we turn our servers off, the game is unplayable. That's not a normal thing to do. That's why it's quite recent. That's very recent. If you look at games from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, none of them are dead. They're not dead like this. They might be dead, like no one plays them, but they haven't been killed off by the publisher. No, these games have been killed off. You can still play them. You just gotta like get some old hardware, and because like new hardware is broken and like what's it called? Not reliability. What's it called? Yeah, he can't. Of course, like playing on 1995 game is gonna be hard because like you need an old version of Windows and shit. But they weren't purposefully killed off by the developers, unlike modern games. Games from 2010 onwards, especially multiplayer games and a lot of single-player games, all have a death date. The developers made the game will die when we do X. And Stop Killing Games is an initiative to stop that.
And because of that, it will impact.
He never has that light bulb moment. Well, he is correct.
Yeah, but like for example, like if you look at I was here. 90s games. Like if I open like the top 40 games of the 90s, I can guarantee you every single game on this list is still completely playable. You just need the hardware. For example, most of them are even emulatable, right? Like all of these games are completely playable. But in 20 years, if you try to do this about 2020, top 40 games 2020, you will see so many games that are completely playable, but the developers killed them off. I don't mean kill them off like, oh, they stopped hosting servers. Like, you literally cannot play the game. You cannot play it at all. At all. Even if you buy it, you own it, you are willing to host it, you just want to play single player. But you can't. Like, the crew, which was just killed off. Let me see here. The crew... Where is shutdown? The crew is a single player game. The crew is a single player game that you cannot play anymore. And 1x, I would like you to try and play it. Put the CD into your dig out an old CD drive, fire up your PC, and try to play it. Because you will not be able to. You own the CD. You bought the game. You bought the game. You have the CD. You have all the files. But if you tried to play it today, you cannot. You can't play your game. The game you bought, you can't play it anymore because the developers arbitrarily decided you will not be able to play it. No, the crew is single player. There's no really legitimate. Even if it was multiplayer, even if it was multiplayer, you can play it, right? You can play it. There's no legitimate reason why the crew should not be playable anymore. But you cannot. You cannot play the game. I don't even think you can open it. Like, you put a CD in, you start installing, it will ask you to log in to Ubisoft account or whatever. You log in, and it will probably say the game is shut off. And then that's it. The game, the server no longer exists. The service no longer exists. You probably can, but you won't be able to play it. This game is dead. You cannot play it. This is an unplayable game. And the game is only unplayable because the developer shows that. The developer shows that this game is going to die now. And they do that because they want to sell you the next game. They're making new games. They don't want you to play old games. They don't make money anymore. If you're playing the crew for the rest of your life, that's bad for them, right? They want to sell you a new game. They want to sell you a new game and a new game and a new game. And if they have to force you, they will. They will turn off your game so you can't play it anymore. So you have to buy the new game. Because I'm pretty sure they started developing the crew too. They did. The crew too.
In that statement, it's almost
like they didn't want you to play the crew. You already bought the crew. They want you to buy a new one.
It's as if that's not what the initiative is asking for. But
here's another game I actually played. Here's another game he actually made it. Here's another game. Button Forge. This game, I played this when it was new. I played it for about a year. This game was a lot of fun.
Plays like a normal.
It's basically an RTS, a RTS card game combo. And EA, I remember this. I remember this so vividly. I opened the launcher one day, and it just said, "We are shutting down the servers. Thank you for your whatever." And a month later, all the money I put into this game was just gone. They shut this game down. Even though it was mostly... There's a ton of single-player missions. A ton of single-player missions. Or local co-op or whatever. But no, they said... We're shutting this down. This game's getting shut down. It's very interesting, because... Our Cursed Farms, the guy who's behind... there's no reason. The thing is, Celsco, they just don't want people to play it anymore. They don't want people to play it because they want to sell people new games. They don't want people to play this game because they would rather get them to buy a fucking Mass Effect or whatever. That's why they killed it. There was no logical reason other than profits for the shareholders. Like they didn't have to go shutting the servers off. You look, guys. There was no reason to. There was no reason to. Other than maybe we can make a little bit more money. And this game is great. This game was amazing. What's interesting with this game? It's actually actively being remade by someone right now. It's actually being remade right now. I think it's called Battleforge Reforged. No, Reborn. Reborn. You can actually play this game still. This game has been resurrected, remade from the ground up over the last 10 years.
Hi guys,
so you can
simple. You can buy packs just like
You can still play it. Because independent developers resurrected and saved this game on their own time for zero profit. I remember when the game died, I was like, what? Did they kill the game? I'm gonna like, what the fuck is going on? And I saw like a Facebook group about it. And yeah, they actually remade the game. You can play it now. You can play it. You can play it. But that's not with the developers. This whole project can be shut down at any time by EA. If EA feels spiteful one day, they can send that cease and desist letter, and this is over. Like they can. They haven't done it yet though. But they can. And that's the whole thing. Like this is a whole ass freaking game. People have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and was just killed off.
There you can
because the profits weren't big enough.
But those were his streams with a smaller audience. What does he say in his big YouTube video with over 1 million views that he had time to research?
Dude, I remember the Battleforge. Again, when they reminisce about Battleforge for 5 minutes. I remember my first laptop. My first laptop. We were at the. I have my first laptop with me. We went to the cabin by the water. Like we went to the cabin. I had like an extra modem with me, a mobile modem just to get internet, and I had Battleforge open, and I was like fucking trading cards. I was playing stock exchange. I was a stock trader on Battleforge because you can buy cards, sell cards with other people. So I would like sell, trade cards. It was so much fun. Amazing game. I should re-download it and play it. I remembered it. I was sitting. It was like probably 10:30 a.m. I was like what, like 9, 10 years old. I was like talking on Battleforge, probably with fucking Salesgo. Salesgo tried to scam me. Salesgo, Mr. 45 years old, tried to scam me in Battleforge when I was 9. Classic.
If we're trying to kill off the practice of developers putting together a live service game, pitching it as a single-player experience, and then taking away support in the future.
Now he's changed it again and is making up how it's about single-player games are advertised. What is he doing?
It needs to be specific about the business practice it's trying to defeat, which is specifically companies that are doing this.
The crazy part about this guy, Pirate Software, he has gone on the record to say he wants to kill all games. He thinks it's a good thing to kill all games. He thinks it's a good thing to kill all games. And that's fine. If that's your opinion, just say that's your opinion. Just say that. Don't lie and mislead and misdirect and spread misinformation to your audience. Just tell them. Because he says this later in this exact stream. He says later, like, I think old games should be killed because, like, there's no reason to keep them around. And that's fine. Just say that then. Just say that. Don't sit here and lie and misdirect and spread misinformation. You sound like a fucking politician.
Under the guise of it being a single-player game, but adding online-only functionality that is not necessary and doesn't add any gameplay elements. That's the problem.
No, that's not it at all.
And there are some people that'll say, well, just make it all single-player.
Like
well,
you?
I've explained that doesn't make any sense in the first place. If you're making it all single-player,
like,
you'd
what
have to
the fuck is he
carve off
talking
all
about?
of that, and it's developer
He's,
time and money.
just
These are
lying. He's just lying through his teeth right now, and it's fucking disgusting. He's just lying like a fucking pig right now.
two different
Spreading straight misinformation on purpose. It's absolutely fucking
ideologies.
disgusting.
And that's okay to have two different ideologies. I just won't agree with it.
But those aren't the ideologies. Nothing in the initiative is asking to convert games to single player.
Nowhere in there does it say that it's directly targeting always online single player games.
Yeah, so why does he keep bringing it up? This is a total red herring.
If we don't like the idea of live service games as a whole, I get it. Don't play live service games then. Don't agree to those terms.
No, he's getting a new thing wrong now. We're not against them existing, we're against them being destroyed with no recourse for the customer.
He's just making stuff up. That's the thing. He just he makes up these absolutely absurd strawmans, which are like insane, and then he takes that strawman down to look good. Like okay, I'll give the example from our stream. I'll give the example from this stream or yesterday's stream. When Pernivius come into chat, and when I instead of grappling with what he's saying, I just say, "You're a stinky fucking Germany one-trick playing arcade. Fuck your opinion." That's what he's doing. Cause I'm just dunking on Pernivius if it was an actual moderated debate, I would lose, right? Because that's not an argument. Just shitting on someone isn't an argument. But that's what he's doing.
Just use logic. If we didn't like them in the
But Pernivius
first
deserves
place, why would we care if they're being destroyed? He says he gets it, but he doesn't.
Let's talk about the actual bad business practices. In the case that a studio is making a live service game and they sell it to you as a product, they say that you are purchasing the game or you are buying the game, when in reality you're actually purchasing or buying a license to that game.
Where's the clip? Where's the clip? There's one clip. I want to see. It's this one. It is this one. It is the video we're just watching.
Have to sunset.
Where is it?
In many ways, but it's easiest to divide this up by things we've already done and things we can still do. Because there's about a dozen things we've already done. Yeah, in fact, here's a list if you want to pause this. Going over this again will be a video in itself. I'll talk more about some of this towards the end. So that just leaves things we can still do, which are only 2 items. One is for the UK to sign a government petition to bring this issue before Parliament. Though, keeping it real, I'm not terribly optimistic about this one, since the government response has been a mess by every definition. It's a long and boring story, but the short version is it's hit a bureaucratic roadblock and will stay stuck unless it gets more signatures. But the one that has a lot of power, so much so I think it could change the course of gaming history, is the European Citizens Initiative. Now, I said I'm approaching this like a time traveler because with the trajectory we're on, these are both going to force games being destroyed.
Is it here? The thing is, even if you're like, okay, this guy's a liar, dog shit, this is a bad person, you know what Elf Pirate Software did? There's one more thing Pirate Software did that gave me the absolute worst taste in my mouth ever. He absolutely went disgustingly hard on Russ. Like, he attacked Russ personally. He attacked Russ personally a ton. And that's what, and he deleted the, and the crazy part is Russ reached out afterwards. Russ commented on Pirate Software's video something like, do you want to have a chat about this? To clear the air or whatever. Pirate Software deleted the comment called Ross a used car salesman and disgusting and misleading and etc. etc. etc.
These are live service games.
Yeah, you heard him. No games are being destroyed. Does he just say anything? Is that why he's popular? More to the point, and what I wish he included in his main video, is he supports games being destroyed.
A very strange demand from people in the gaming industry where live service games should live forever, whether in the hands of the developer or otherwise. And I can't get behind that shit. I think live service...
Here's the thing I talked about earlier about Pirate Software actually being anti-gamer. He's saying it right now. I don't think games should live on forever, he says. I think it's fine when games get killed.
They're in the hands of the developer or otherwise. And I can't get behind that shit. I think live service games getting sunsetted is fine. I've always thought that. And that's okay.
Exactly. I think live games should be killed is fine.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. I have no problems with the end of a video game.
See, I wish he started his big YouTube video with that message instead of deleting it.
Exactly.
Instead, he presented himself as pro-preservation and not wanting the medium to die out.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out. And it never will. And that's the whole intention of all of this.
So he doesn't want games to die.
It's so disgusting. It's actually, I'm actually getting sick to my stomach. It's so nasty. He's sitting here acting like his opinions and what he's saying is for the good of the people. He's sitting here acting like it's for the good of the people to let developers just kill off games after you bought them, after you paid for them. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's so nasty now. He's sitting here like, oh, you shouldn't be complaining. It's actually a good thing that EA kills off games that you bought. You spent $60 2 years ago? Unlucky, man. EA killed the game off, because you know what? We gotta develop new games. We gotta keep consuming. We gotta keep making new games. Old games, they're old. We gotta make new games. More profit, more money.
Out, except he's fine with
disgusting. Actually disgusting.
I think there's some cognitive dissonance going on there. And he's against killing single-player games that only have a DRM check, okay? But then says people who buy single-player games with more than a DRM check are stupid, and he doesn't play those.
I don't buy games that are always online single-player games. I refuse to play those because it...
I love this. He says this. He says this, but it's just straight up fucking lying. I love this. He's sitting here saying this, but he's just straight up lying. Because he bought Diablo 4. Diablo 4 is a single-player game that's always online. He's sitting here talking about... He's sitting here calling people that buy those games stupid. With that game in his Blizzard inventory.
Stupid.
That's some tough talk coming from a fan of Diablo 4.
It's actually really freaking good, dude. The game's fantastic.
What'd I say?
Itemization is great. Systems design is great. Storyline has been
He's
fantastic.
Like jerking off the
Characters
game.
are good. Voice acting is great.
Oh, he's
so is he
nasty.
saying he wouldn't have played
He's so
Diablo
slimy.
4 single-player campaign if it didn't have forced multiplayer also? Even though he's praising it and appears to be playing solo?
So slimy. So
Or is he
nasty.
saying that people that just wanted to play Diablo 4 single player...
Even two? Thank you! Arigato! Shaimasu for the Super Scribo!
player
I
are
love you.
stupid. I admit I got lost on his stance there, but what's more clear to me is we're not on the same side. Here's a list of some popular games that are all at risk of being destroyed at some time in the future.
Like these games? Okay, so Ross says this, but if you don't know what he's talking about, all these games on this list in the middle here, all these games, at the whim of the developers, these games can be disabled and you will never play them again. Even if you own them, even if you pay for them, you will never, like at the whim of the developer, can say, nope, it's over. Servers are done. And then you can never ever play it again. And these are big games. And you know what? I did pre-watch it. And you know what comes up later? It starts with a W. It starts with a fucking W, guys.
Here's a list of some popular games that are all at risk of being destroyed at some time in the future. The Stop Killing Games movement sees any of these being destroyed as a problem, and they're exactly the kinds of games that would start being protected if the initiative passed. Now, a lot of these do.
No, but the thing is, Era, the game not being popular anymore isn't the problem. Like, the thing is, the problem is, you put the money, you bought something for $60, $100, $200, whatever. You bought something, and at an arbitrary date in time, the developer can say, you no longer have access to what you just bought. Like, you bought something. You bought Destiny 2. And then 2 years later, the developer says, actually, the thing you bought, yeah, it's gone. That's what we're fighting against. That's the whole point. The thing you bought, the thing you put the money into, the thing you quote-unquote owned, is no longer available, and it's not something you would know about. Yeah, the same thing, yeah. Like, like in a perfect world, where Stop Killing Game wins, Destiny 2 would still be available. You would still be able to play it. But when you launch it, all the servers will be empty, right? The server, like, and that's fine. You can't force people to play the game. That's fine. But the way it works now, you can't even launch the game. The developer decides you can't play the game anymore. And it's just over. No multiplayer, no single player, no custom games, no modifications, no nothing. It's just dumb. That's what we're fighting. We're not saying developers should keep players in the game forever. No. If I open an old game with there's 0 other players, I open the game and there's literally 0 players online, that's fine. But as long as I have the option to open the game and enter an empty server or play the campaign, that's all I want. That's all everyone wants, I think.
Have single player.
And all these games on this list are in the risk of just being turned off. These games are in the risk of being turned off. Pirate Software thinks that's fine. Pirate Software thinks Diablo 1, 2, 3, 4 being turned off is fine.
Campaigns.
We don't.
But I believe they all require more than a simple DRM check.
Division, Hearthstone,
It says over and
Overwatch,
over
Division
that its
2,
problem with the initiative is
Ghost
the wording,
Recon,
and it's vague.
Rainbow Six
but there
Siege.
is no
All
wording he would
these
like
games,
that
Helldivers,
also saves games
Elite
like
Dangerous.
these. Because he's on the
All
opposite
these
side
games
of
can
it.
be turned off
If
at the
he's
moment's notice.
totally fine with games like these being disabled forever, well, guess what? That's the position of the industry causing
What is that? What is this? Where is it at the end there?
this
That's our
entire
game.
problem.
That's our game! That's my game right there! That's my game! That's my life! That's when when I saw this scroll up, that's when I know it was serious. That's cringe? No. That's not cringe. If I... This is no longer an if. I have paid $4,000 fucking dollars to War Thunder. I should be able to play War Thunder for the rest of my fucking life. I have paid $4,000 or more dollars to War Thunder. I should be able to play War Thunder for the rest of my fucking life. If that's fine. Listen, that's fine. If Gaijin decides we can no longer afford to operate the servers, that's fine. No one is saying Gaijin should have to support and maintain the servers forever. No, that's fine. If you're done and you can't afford and it's no longer profitable, profitable to operate the servers, that's fine. That happens all the time. But I should still be able to play the game. I should be able to host the game myself, or at least play AI missions. in-game. I should be able to open the game. Imagine War Thunder. War Thunder in 20 years. No one's playing the game anymore. Everyone stopped. There is 50 people on War Thunder. 50 people instead of 200,000. Those 50 people should both have access to host their own servers, and they should have access to play AI missions. Just like, for example, for me, I have thousands of dollars, thousands of hours in this game. I should be able to play this game for the rest of my life. If I want to play against AI in 10 years with my T14 Armata, I should be able to. I spent money on my T14 Armata. I should be able to do that. I just said Star Wars. I just said either against AI, custom games, anything. There's so many ways. Okay, so the thing is, if the game is so unprofitable, they decide to shut it down. That means there's no money in it anymore, right? There's no money anymore. So just give every player a tank. Give every player every tank, so they can play the tanks. Give them server browser. Exactly. The moment they lose $1, the servers get shut down. No, there doesn't have to be any grinding. If the game is so unprofitable, even keeping one server, which is what, like $5 a month? If the game is so unprofitable, even hosting one server on each continent is unviable, then just fucking let everyone play all the tanks. It doesn't matter anymore, right? You're not making money anymore. Like, if you're making $0, just fucking give all the tanks, all the planes, everything to everyone. Give every single user 1 billion golden eagles, and then just shut the servers down. Right? There's no reason to keep it alive anymore. Right? There's no reason to. Why kill the game off? Why kill the game off so no one can play it anymore? Why? There's no reason to kill it off. There's no reason to kill it off other than trying to extract more value. But you're trying to extract more value from a completely dead game. Like, why?
In the first place. And that's the final point. Thor says he disagrees with how we're going about trying to end game destruction, but he also disagrees with the goal itself. No, wait, I want to be fair. He's only against 99% of it minus that tiny provision he made up. So once you understand that, then of course it makes sense that he's against the Stop Killing Games movement. Because we're trying to stop killing games. Now, if you're in Thor's camp and think killing all these...
Wait, Alec, if you look at these games, if you look at this list, these are hyper-popular games. None of these games should be killed off randomly. Zero. Like, all this game, even if they just shoot boots. It's a bad thing. Even if you think like, oh, War Thunder would be a bad game if you had to play versus AI. That's fine. But you should have the ability to play the game still. You spent money on the game, right? You bought the game. You should keep being able to play it forever. Even if it's not profitable, even if it's bad. Right? You should have an option to play it.
These games is fine and are as things should be, okay. Then it's just a values clash.
Later. Yeah.
And yeah, you'll hate the initiative too. I'm not trying to tell you otherwise. But if you think you might have been misled about
like
what the initiative is, hey, maybe look at it again. Tell others about it. Help undo some of the damage. There is still time.
Like, it's fine. Like, this initiative is not about forcing the developers to make the games fun. No. This entire initiative is to make the developers stop killing their game. Like, don't make it fun. Don't invest money in making it good. Just stop categorically killing your games. Stop. I paid $60 to play a game. You, as a developer, should not have the ability to just disable that purchase. Or just reverse the purchase. Because that's what they're doing, right? If I buy access to, let's say... If I buy...
Okay, then it's...
Black Desert. I buy Black Desert for $45. I don't think it's morally or commercially right that the developers make me no longer play Black Desert 6 months later. Like, they should not be able to go, well, you bought the game, but we disabled it now, so you can no longer play it. Like, that's fucked up, no? I bought Black Desert for $45, and now I can't play it anymore? Well, what the fuck?
It's just a values clash.
Imagine you bought milk. Imagine you bought 2 cartons of milk, and at some arbitrary point in time, the farmer comes into your home and siphons off half the milk, or just takes the whole milk cartons. Because, hey, we no longer support the milk cartons, so we're gonna take them back. But what? I paid $20 for that milk. What are you talking about? Right? It's the same thing.
And yeah, you'll hate...
Like, we paid money for this fucking game. You should not be able to just take it back or remove it from me.
the initiative too. I'm not trying to tell you otherwise. But if you think you might have been misled about what the initiative is, hey, maybe look at it again.
That's the entire
Tell others about it. Help undo some of the damage. There is still time. It closes July 31st.
Ooh,
For lying about what the campaign is about, remember, second definition, has caused more damage to it than anything else I'm aware of. Now, I've heard some people say, no, it caused a Streisand effect and led to more coverage. Well, if you look at the signature rate, it suggests the opposite. I've also been told a big streamer, like in that group I mentioned earlier, you know, the kind that are so big they could end this, avoided talking about Stop Killing Games because of Thor's take on it. Remember, at the time he did this, Pirate Software was a well-respected developer looked up to by the internet community for having good takes on gaming. And I was, and still am, the weirdo with no credentials other than not wanting games destroyed. So with Thor being seen as the smartest guy in the room and firmly against the initiative, I think that led some internet figures to not want to touch this, lest they be seen like a fool in the eyes of Thor. Now, as I understand it, that risk may have lowered since then, but it doesn't really matter if nobody else talks about it, because he was there to kill the momentum when we needed it the most, and we never got it back. Okay, that's it on him. I did not enjoy having to do that segment, but I've had to do a lot of things on this campaign I don't like. Believe it or not, my goal was not to tarnish Thor's reputation. That's incidental. I don't care. He can be hailed as a national hero. Whatever. The goal was to expose the damage done to the campaign to try and fix it. I do think he's someone who would have defended the divine right of kings hundreds of years ago, but I don't wish him ill will.
Exactly.
On the contrary, I hope he finds some peace of mind. Now you might be thinking...
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what to say. The only thing I have to say is, anyone who's watching this and haven't signed the petition, go and sign it. Literally open Google, search Stop Killing Games, and click the fucking result. Please go sign this petition. We protect our own interests. We've spent money, time, energy on these games. They should not be deleted. The games we've spent money, time, energy, our life. We've spent our life force on these games. They should not just be deleted because some executive wants to make more money. If you haven't signed it, please sign it now. If you're not from Europe or Britain, spread it. Send it in your Discord. Make people aware. This is actually important.